It's not easy to surprise us anymore as an audience. We're not innocent, you know, like an apathetic teenager, we have endless opportunities and resources and endless chances to see something special, but we've become more and more bored by the nature of art due to our endless access to content.
You arrive at Starbucks. The menu is overwhelming. You have a typical drink that you like, but there's 3 new Christmas drinks. And then all of a sudden, there's all this other stuff built up, and you're like, so-and-so said I should try this drink, but then they also said this one, and the Christmas one, and this one I like, but there's also one that I wanted to try, and then you just cave and you get something random, right? And then now it's like, should I get a snack? Should I get oatmeal? Should I get bread? Should I get this? And you leave the window. And then, after all of that, you arrive at work. And you wonder why you feel unmotivated or just fatigued in general. You might be actually experiencing something legit, which is called decision fatigue, and also some call it the analysis paralysis or the paradox of choice.
How many people here have a GPS device? One of those things that navigates for you. Think of what that does to your ability to navigate intuitively. To look at a map and just say, oh, I'm heading north, maybe I should go this way. GPS devices have caused people to ride onto railroad tracks. I'm following the directions.
In his book, Amusing Ourselves to Death, Neil Postman writes about the relationship between the amount of information we have and the action we undertake based on it. He calls this the information-action ratio and says that information is now a commodity that can be bought and sold, or used as a form of entertainment, or worn like a garment to enhance one's status. It comes indiscriminately, directed at no one in particular, disconnected from usefulness. We are glutted with information, drowning in information, have no control over it, don't know what to do with it, and the modern world has made the relationship between information and action both abstract and remote.
The way to maximize freedom is to maximize choice. The more choice people have, the more freedom they have, and the more freedom they have, the more welfare they have. This, I think, is so deeply embedded in the water supply that it wouldn't occur to anyone to question it.
But studies have shown that it's actually scientifically proven that fewer choices lead to more happiness.
You're happy because you're successful, for now. But what is happiness? It's a moment before you need more happiness.
Now, in the 1980s, the average American bought about 12 new articles of clothing every year. Now, the average American buys 68 new pieces a year. And that is largely because of this dominant force in the clothing industry.
All of this choice has 2 effects, 2 negative effects on people. One effect, paradoxically, is that it produces paralysis rather than liberation. With so many options to choose from, people find it very difficult to choose at all.
And I think also knowing more about food and where it comes from, how it's processed, will inevitably make people more responsible eaters. They're going to start thinking, how does this food choice impact the environment?
And there are over 30 million songs on Spotify as of today.
No one needs that much new stuff every week. No other business works like this.
There's over 100,000 titles on Netflix.
There's just too much stuff to watch. You know that feeling when you want to watch a movie so you spend an hour browsing every streaming service to see what's available, but then you're too tired to stay awake for a whole movie so you just fall asleep watching old Inuyasha episodes? Yeah, me too. This is why I like to have curated lists. I like always knowing what the next movie is so I don't have to waste time choosing. Am I just saying that I hate choice? That I want all my decisions pre-programmed for me by algorithms? Maybe the Matrix was wrong. Maybe control is better than free will.
The second effect is that even if we manage to overcome the paralysis and make a choice, we end up less satisfied with the result of the choice than we would be if we had fewer options to choose from. And there are several reasons for this. One of them is that with a lot of different salad dressings to choose from, if you buy one and it's not perfect, and you know what salad dressing is, it's easy to imagine that you could have made a different choice that would have been better. And what happens is this imagined alternative induces you to regret the decision you made, And this regret subtracts from the satisfaction you get out of the decision you made, even if it was a good decision. The more options there are, the easier it is to regret anything at all that is disappointing about the option that you chose. Second, what economists call opportunity costs. Dan Gilbert made a big point this morning of talking about how much the way in which we value things depends on what we compare them to. Well, when there are lots of alternatives to consider, it is easy to imagine the attractive features of alternatives that you reject that make you less satisfied with the alternative that you've chosen.
Start to actually fantasize about alternatives that may not even exist. We see this a lot with Instagram, and when we talk about fidelity and general dating in this age of technology, where you might have a relationship that's perfectly fine, but when you go onto Instagram, it's like this legit catalog and highlight reel of all these people. Millions and millions of profiles are on Instagram.
Just one Salvation Army center in New York creates 18 tons of unwanted clothes every 3 days. And if donated clothes aren't sold in a month, most of them end up here.
What charities can't sell or give away is often sold by the ton to buyers in the developing world. Even there, much of last year's fashion is filling this year's landfills.
We are en route to peak garbage. So what does that say about our society? It says we aren't playing for keeps. It says that our culture is utterly disposable, when everything we make goes right into the garbage.
There was a time when jeans came in one flavor, and you bought them, and they fit like crap, and they were incredibly uncomfortable, and if you wore them long enough and washed them enough times, they started to feel okay. So I went to replace my jeans after years and years of wearing these old ones, and I said, I want a pair of jeans, here's my size, and the shopkeeper said, do you want slim fit, easy fit, relaxed fit? You want button fly or zipper fly? You want stone washed or acid washed? Do you want them distressed? Do you want boot cut? Do you want tapered? Blah, 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 on and on. He went. My jaw dropped, and after I recovered, I said, I want the kind that used to be the only kind. He had no idea what that was. So I spent an hour trying on all these damn jeans, and I walked out of the store, truth, with the best fitting jeans I had ever had. I did better. All this choice made it possible for me to do better. But I felt worse. Why? I wrote a whole book to try to explain this to myself. The reason is... The reason I felt worse is that with all of these options available, my expectations about how good a pair of jeans should be went up. I had I had no particular expectations when they only came in one flavor. When they came in 100 flavors, damn it, one of them should have been perfect.